Yo, what is up? What's to the side? Today I'm going to show you a DBT skill set that's called TIP. It stands for temperature change, intense exercise, pace breathing, and progressive muscle relaxation. DBT is a form of therapy normally used for people with personality disorders and emotional dysregulation, so it's not really something you would receive for anxiety, but certain skills in the DBT therapy scheme works really well for anxiety. You can use TIP when you have a general activation, as in if you had an anxiety attack for the couple of last few days, or if you are feeling that you're going into a panic attack, or if you're into a panic attack, if you feel completely obsessed in your worries, for example with health anxiety, or if you need to break out of some obsessive compulsions and you have a hard time feeling like you can even think. Try them because they might work really well for you. TIP doesn't really solve anything, but it's a way to regulate into your tolerance window again and turn off the flight, fight, freeze, fawn response so that you can think more clearly and so that you can stop yourself from being activated for a long period of time where your cognition would just like turn off and everything would feel way worse than it actually may be, and so on. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you all the skills. The first TIP skill is something I use very often, and it is ice cold water on my hands and my face. A cold glass of water can also help, or something hot. This works really well if you struggle with an anxiety attack or a panic attack. Ice cold water. The reason this works is because the cold water on your hands and on your forehead and on your face activates the parasympathetic nervous system, or also the dive reflex. When you dive into ice cold water, you can't hyperventilate, right? Your body can't afford to hyperventilate or be really tense because you are going to die. Activating the dive reflex when you are feeling like you're gonna shake and stress and hyperventilate is really good. Another thing you can also use on the vagal nerve is use an ice package or a package of peas and put it on your chest, because your vagal nerve goes here by this bone. So if you put it on your chest, it will also activate the parasympathetic nervous system. It's like a shock, but in a very good way. This is not a part of TIP skill, but I'm gonna add it in here, and that is to freeze something really sour, or if it's not freezed, also just cut a lemon and feel it. Because it's so sour, your brain will think about pain. When you think about pain, pain comes before anxiety. That's why many people who are overstimulated and dysregulated will do self-harm, or why I will harass my stomach or anything like that. Which brings me on to the next skill, which is called intense exercise. The next one works really well if you feel very restless and you have a lot of adrenaline already pumping in your veins, so that maybe you've had a panic attack and you're scared for the adrenaline still pumping and you feel like you're gonna have another panic attack. Take some push-ups, like 10 intense into something. Like I can't do push-ups very well, so when I do that, when I have a panic attack with really high pulse, my pulse will go down because my body always telling me to focus on my arms. So when I have a flight or freeze response, my hands and feet will get ice cold because they're not prioritized. I need to run. I don't need to carefully knit something or do point work. So my brain is like, no. Like, we're gonna focus on your legs where you're gonna run. And maybe even here, actually using that can be well, because now you're telling your body, look body, I am fighting. Can't you feel it? I'm fighting. Or running, although you need to figure out what works for you, because running for me would make it worse. So if I have a lot of anxiety and I go running, it's gonna trigger me more. But for some people it helps because you feel like you're using the adrenaline, right? And now you get really like, your breath, you can't control it anymore, so your manual breathing will turn off because now you're using your body. Putting on music and dancing as well. So some music you really like, and then just dance. Especially shaking like this. Like shake. Ooh. You should do this when you wake up in the morning or before lunch or whatever. Do it a bit during the day. Shake it off. be losing your limbs. The third one is called paced breathing. I have been on some articles where they say you should do this. Holy cow, that would not work for me. That would make my hyperventilation worse. I am a huge newfound fan of breathing in through your nose, because breathing in through your nose actually sends signals to your brain that you're okay. You know, when fish gets thrown on land or a bunny is freaking out and feel like it's suffocating, they will start breathing through their mouths. They go. So when human as well, if you do physical activity, you will breathe through your mouth, right? It's very hard to jog fast and breathe through your nose. So breathing through your mouth already sends signals that we need to be activated, and we're going to use a lot of energy and all that. So breathing through your mouth will maybe even send signals to your body that it needs to continue the adrenaline glands firing. And it's way easier to hyperventilate through your mouth than through your nose. So for me, paced breathing will be, and you can practice this whenever you're not activated as well, because practicing deep breathing and breathing through your nose will strengthen the vagal nerve vibration. So it's like the more you practice it, the stronger the parasympathetic nervous system gets. It's like a muscle, sort of. You can think about it as something like that. So for people with anxiety, the sympathetic muscle is extremely strong and activated, and I walked around, I was like, my amygdala is probably bigger than the next person. So for me, it's in 4, and then hold can help if you feel like you're suffocating, because your CO2 levels will actually really fall, which makes you feel like you need more oxygen, and you will go like, and like breathe really deeply and fast, and so you will just make them fall even more, and you will feel like you need even more oxygen when you have enough oxygen and you actually need more of the CO2. It's really weird that the drop in CO2 makes you feel like you need more oxygen. It's kind of like we just misinterpreted wrongfully. So in and hold. I try to breathe out as controlled and as slowly as I can. So instead of going, I go, and my favorite one also is pursed lips. So like you're playing the flute. I will do this when I feel like my manual breathing is coming on, or that I feel like my panic is coming on, or if I just need to relax my heartbeat, and it will work. You can look at your heartbeat. I did some control tests where I would jump rope until I got like 147 in pulse, and then I will do 4 times or something, and then it will be down at 75. So that's paced breathing, and I know it sounds very triggering if you struggle with breathing and feeling like you're suffocating and all that, but taking control of this, not doing everything else, not doing the square and the ditten and dutton, I have to say in Norway, but just in through your nose, breathing and hold and out. Before I couldn't, if someone told me to breathe in my nose and then hold my breath, I'd be like I'd be scared I wouldn't be able to breathe again after I held my breath. So practicing that and seeing that your body is very well in control and that you want to stop breathing is a good practice. And this is something to practice, as I said, not only when you're stressed, but just throughout the days as you go by life. Let's move on to the next one and the last one in the tip, the P at the end. This is called progressive muscle relaxation. So also after you've had a panic attack and you've gone through the worst peak or anxiety attack for the entire day, and you're like very, like you can, it feels like you're gonna explode. Like you can do like feet, leg, knee, thighs, stomach, or you can just do the whole entire body, like, and then fight, like imagine that you're just like using your muscles. Relax. And breathe normally. I know that sounds hard if you're very used to breathing manually, but just let your body gasp for air if it needs to. And then again, just relax. This is also not too far-fetched from the vagal maneuver, where you would pretend to be poo-pooing so you get your heart rate back down, because creating this pressure in your chest makes your heartbeat calm down. That's why a lot of people self-regulate without knowing what they would do, like this. My brother does it all the time. And that's a form of self-regulation. Your brain just knows because your body is smart. Yeah, That's all the tip skills I had for you today. DBT is a very great form of therapy. I never received it, but I have read a lot about it because I think it's such a good form of therapy. I love that it focuses inwards towards like somatic therapy as well, because anxiety and depression is very much also found in the body. So your brain and cognition will fire in one way, but your body does its whole thing, and you need to have tools on how to deal with it. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye everyone.